I'm Corbett Wall with DV Auction, here with your feeder flash for Tuesday, June the 27th, brought to you in part by Safeguard. Safeguard is the only dewormer available in suspension and feed formulations. So you can deworm your cattle your way at the chute, in the pasture, or you can add it to the feed. Wherever Safeguard is given, Safeguard goes to work, guaranteed. For more information, go to safeguardworks.com. Also, Beaver County Stockyards, they're going to have about 1,800 for the regular Tuesday cattle auction here today on Tuesday, including about 300 calves. Most of those are going to be weaned. They'll have a few little Pee-wee 2/8 cattle pulled off their mamas there, but most of them weighing from 300 to 500 pounds. My brother Tim Bryant from down around Lawton, he brought some calves up. His will be hard weaned and straightened out, ready to go. I hope he gets along good with those. They'll have about 1,200 yearlings, and they've got about 5 different consignments of 150 to 200 head of 600 to 800 pound grazing type yearlings. Now, not all of them are going to be in load lots, of course. They've got to get them sized up where you'd like them, and you might have to kind of put them together to make loads out of them, but there'll be a lot of them, guys. And if you're looking for some grazing type yearlings here to turn out here midsummer, they're sure going to have them at Beaver County Stockyards. Check them out, dvauction.com. Use the 4th for a pick. And did I title this report that just to draw some people in? Yes, of course. I'll notice on my YouTube, if I come up with kind of a clever title, sometimes I'll drag some people in that had no idea what they're getting into, but it helps with viewership a little bit. But what do I mean by use the 4th for a pick? Okay, we lost a little ground in your fat cattle market last week, $2 in the Southern Plains and 3 to 5 in the Northern Plains, and everybody's kind of down in the doldrums, and now we got a big holiday coming up, and nobody's even really talking about what the fat cattle market could be this week. I tell you what, I don't know anybody that's in a bind from what I've heard. Everybody's green, everybody is ahead in their marketing. Shut the gates this week. They're going to try to buy them cheaper again anyway. They're going into July, which they can jack around with it all they want to, leading into August, which is trading at a significant discount, not only to the June live cattle contract that we've been working from, but also a significant discount, seriously, to what our market is. I mean, $11 discount to what our Southern Plains market is. I think it's time, use the 4th for a pick. Okay, so we got most all your packing plants are not going to be operating Saturday or Sunday, and most everybody off on Monday and Tuesday and Wednesday. Now there will be some Saturday slaughter, but not a lot. But for sure going to be 4 days off. I tell you what, their cupboards are going to be bare when they get back from the 4th of July. They are going to be hungry, and you're going to be sitting right there with cattle ready to go and all the leverage. But I would love to see that one time. Now, the way they cleaned especially Iowa out, I know you guys in Iowa are green on what you're going to put on the show list. Everybody I've talked to in the Northern Plains is sure 2 to 3 weeks ahead on their marketing. Southern Plains, it's not going to hurt them a bit to hold off some. Might make those cattle grade a little bit better. But this is a perfect opportunity to use this holiday, the 4th of July falling in the center part of the week. That's going to be a good time to use it. So, if you don't have much at all slaughter on Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday on the 4th, on Wednesday, they're going to be pretty hungry, guys. And you can just about name your price, and that's for next week. But you have to shut the gates this week to make that happen. What's some other evidence that we have that they're short bought? Did you look at the cold storage report we had last Friday? Everybody was looking on the cattle on feed report, which was bearish as to placements, which really didn't add up to that much head count, and it didn't have any effect on the market at all after we looked at what happened here on Monday. But your cold storage report come out Friday, it showed that frozen beef and cold storage was down 6% from a month ago and down 20% from the same time a year ago. That is significant, big time significant. They don't want to get short on product, especially the kind that they can pull out of the freezer anytime they want to. And if they're getting that short on that, they've been hand to mouth here. We've been talking about it, but the few fat cattle sellers we have just keep losing the mojo or the momentum. And we've got to get that back here and get some market position back here going into July, which is going to seem like a really long month if we don't use a little bit of smarts here. Your crop condition report come out on this week already and on Monday, and it continues to show a deteriorating crop for corn. There's only 50% of the crop good to excellent compared to 55% last week and 67% last year. That's getting kind of tough, guys. Your soybeans are ahead of schedule, but still got a long way to go on them. But we keep seeing signs that we're going to have some moisture in the central and the eastern part of the corn belt, and we do get it, but it's just real spotty. And I think the people that aren't getting any scream a lot louder than the ones that are, and the squeaky wheel's getting the attention. But there's been some moisture out around there. It's just very, very spotty. Let's talk about your board for Monday to start the week. June live cattle futures, which are just about gone. They were up 20 cents at 177.70. That's getting pretty close to that 180 for Southern Plains. Not much basis there. August down 17 cents at 170.60. August feeder cattle were down 27 cents at 233.67. September down 20 at 237.50. So really not a lot of activity in your cattle pits there. December corn was up 1/4 cent a bushel is all at 5.88 1/4. New crop November beans up 13 at 13.23. September hard red winter wheat from Kansas City up 6.5 cents a bushel at 8.68 1/4. Impressive the way that Kansas City wheat has gone up so much right during harvest. Talk about your weighted average on last week's negotiated fed cattle trade on a direct basis out of your 5-area feeding region. 66,400 head, which is not a lot, but a lot more than the really light week the previous week, which was only 49,400, and not nearly as much as the same week a year ago, which was 84,300 head. Live steers and heifers out of your 5-area feeding region ranged in price on a live basis last week from $174 to $187.50. That's $3.5 to $6 lower than the previous week. Weighted average on live steers, 182.57, down 235. Dress sales range from 280 to 293. That's $7 lower. Your weighted average on dress steers was 289.81, down 626 compared to the previous week. But as a whole, your Southern Plain market was $2 lower at 180. Northern Plains market 3 to 5 lower from 182 to 185. And dress sales $6 lower at 290. Nationwide, we sold 79,100 head. About 27% of those are for the 15 to 30 day delivery. Negotiated grid had 55,200. It continues to creep up on negotiated sales, but we know negotiated grid doesn't really include any negotiation. You just take it or leave it. Forward contracting was only 9,900. And formula sales were big again, 268,300 head. Of your 4 out of 5 areas that we get information from, Iowa sold negotiated sales of 28,300 last week. Nebraska only 15,200. Kansas sold more than Nebraska again last week, 16,900. And Texas had negotiated sales of only 6,000 head. Box beef cutout values were lower again to start the week. Choice cuts down 97 cents at 333.04. Selects down 29 cents at 299.67. Your slaughter started out pretty much on par at 125,000 for Monday. We'll talk about what else is going on. Night Latch Group, Andy Cunningham, Laverne, Oklahoma, but he can help you guys out wherever you're at. He wants you to hold on to your investment. It sells crop insurance, drought insurance, all your livestock policies, including gross margin policies, which he can show you how you can hedge your feed and your cattle in one easy policy there. If you're interested in it, get a hold of him at nightlatch.net. Talk about your feeder cattle market, your real-time index on DV auction late today on Monday, sitting at $225.35, up $2.53. That's significant gain on a 7-day moving average index with a lot of cattle in there, guys. To start the week out on a Monday with a slightly bearish cattle on feed report on Friday, and your board not helping you out at all. They're going to have a big sale here today on Tuesday at Fredonia Livestock Auction. My buddy Brad Hahn there, he's having his Flint Hills yearling special. He's going to have a lot of good cattle through the ring and a lot of good cattle on his in-house video, adding up to be more than 5,000 head, and there'll be some real premier offerings on there. So don't forget about Fredonia here today on Tuesday. Coming up right after the 4th, I'm going to be going up the 5th to the Cross Bell Ranch for the Coffeyville Livestock Blue Stem Special. They're going to have a huge offering of a lot of Osage and Flint Hill type cattle coming off there later this summer. And then the next day, on the 6th of July, I'm going to be going to Pittsburgh, Kansas to the casino there, and Primetime Livestock Video, which is Joplin Regional Stockyards video auction. They are going to have their big bang that they always have right around the 4th. They're going to have close to 50,000 on there, guys. You can view those last two sales I talked about on dvauction.com. You can get on there early and see a lot of the videos and the lots that they've got put on there already. Talk about your big sales on Monday. Oklahoma National Stockyards in Oklahoma City had 6,900 head. Feeder steers are $3 to $8 higher. Spots as much as $15 higher on some green cattle with a grazing type condition. Feeder heifers $2 to $5 higher. Steer calves are $4 to $8 lower, except for some Pee-wee 4 weights, and they were about steady. But calves were sure lower, as heifer calves are $4 to $6 lower. So that's kind of the way it was in Oklahoma City. Did see a stick-out sale with National Livestock. They sold 71 steers at $685, bring $260. I thought that was pretty good for the city. Joplin Regional Stockyards had a huge yearling special. I can't, cease to tell you guys how impressive Joplin has been this calendar year. They are going to be the largest feeder cattle market by far if they continue to do this for the rest of this calendar year. I don't think Joplin has ever been the biggest. It's usually always running neck and neck between the city, OKC West and El Reno, and Joplin is in there pretty tight. But this year they have just been on fire selling cattle. They sold 11,000 cattle here. On Monday they sold 6,000 for the Wingbat Special just Thursday, and 8,500 a week ago Monday. It's unbelievable how well they're selling these cattle, guys, and really getting them in there. The market was hot. Steers were $5 to $10 higher. Heifers weighing over 575 pounds. Your feeding type heifers were steady to $4 higher. Some heifer calves steady to $6 higher. And then we've seen some pressure on heifer calves here lately. But, they start at 5 o'clock in the morning. They're whipping and spurring strings of cattle before more sale barns even unlock the doors. And guys are liking it. They started at 5 o'clock in the morning. They sold 11,000 cattle and were done before 4 o'clock in the afternoon. Everybody got saddled up. Everybody got home before dark. That's the way you run a sale barn, guys. Look at this automated market report, and it's their National Beef Wire stick-out sale of the day. Joplin Regional Stockyards. You see this automated market report. Joplin's a DV auction customer there. We get all their information right here. Look at your best tested weights. 872 head of 5-weight steer calves. They average 546. Weighted average price $254.45. 1,351 head of 6-weight steers. Average $649. Weighted average price $237. 1,578 head of 7-weight steers in Joplin. They average 743 pounds. Weighted average price $231.04. 1,667 head of 8-weight steers, 838 pounds on the average, $222.98 weighted average price. 1,029 head of 9-weight steers in Carthage, Missouri at Joplin Regional Stockyards. They average 930 pounds with a weighted average price of $217.69. Look at some heifers. 587 head of 4-weight heifer calves, average $458, weighted average price $233.01. 792 head of 5-weight heifer calves, average $555, with a weighted average price of $229.37. And 1,301 head of 6-weight heifers in Joplin on Monday had an average weight of 646 pounds and an average price of $233.73. Very impressive sale there at Joplin. I want to talk to you about a market we don't talk about very often. It's Washington County Livestock Center in Springfield, Kentucky. They had a big special sale and an in-house video. I was talking to several guys last week whenever I was at Harrodsburg, Kentucky, giving a presentation. There were some of the guys from Washington County there. I enjoyed getting to meet them. They told me they were going to have a big slug of cattle on Monday, and they did, including some cattle on their in-house video that actually reside in Virginia. Virginia's got top quality cattle. They were 100% black, top quality cattle there out of Virginia, selling in Washington County, Kentucky. 360 head of them, weighed 835 at $225.75. Very impressive. But the most impressive quote that I saw anywhere on Monday in your Macrocin, no BS, top quote for the day, come out of Farmers and Ranchers Livestock Auction in Salina, Kansas. They're still making the top quotes even though they've been closed on the regular Thursday feeder sale for harvest break, but they're just selling them on Monday for the regular sale. But they had 60 head of steers, weighed 1033 at $218.50. And that's your feeder flash for Tuesday.